don't know her, but I like her already.
Hmm.
She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long. But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the bureau she's a part of. Yes. I can try. I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together.
Okay, Penguin again.
Okay.
Thanks for popping
You with
in.
me? We did it before.
See you around again later.
Push the hiss out.
I'll be playing more of this one next week, starting at the same time, so next Monday. See you then, and thanks for hanging out.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
So, I believe those little dots there are all health particles, I suppose. If I need health, I can run near them and they'll attract and heal me a bit. Do they just stay there until I need them? Or do they eventually disappear? So this is the area I was before. Is her head stuck? No, it's just up against the roof. I thought their heads were stuck in the roof. Speak with Emily Pope. I can now go everywhere around here by the looks. Nice. Is there any collectibles and stuff for me? Maybe over here. Material, house memory. Got nothing to put in there yet. Would that replace that one though? Headshot boost. So there are headshots. Nice. Yep, it replaces it. I definitely need reload. Assets. Can't read any of them. Guessing that's the one I haven't read yet. Field research on Hiss entity. Hiss corrupted agent. Confidential. Summary. The Hiss manifest in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The Hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These Hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation and infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the Hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons, preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, Hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing. Refer to file redacted for full report. Of course, there's another redacted file. Ah, shortcut to... There. Nice. Examination of paranormal topics, technological limitations of the oldest house. Summary. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any blank signal, any redacted signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconsciousness is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural redacted for the oldest house to redacted them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving at too fast a pace for the redacted to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Redacted agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Refer to file 4/19/1935 for full report. Yeah, you don't want that happening. Ah, it's just a radio. I've turned off copyright music. That's what that is. So glad that no copyright music. I won't have any troubles putting up onto YouTube then. Federal Bureau of Control. Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Dr. D. Rodriguez. I butchered that name. Not a doctor. Nothing in there. Another upgrade. Still got nothing there. What was the new one I got? They're not new. I don't know what I got there.
I can't cleanse them. I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse. I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it. Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time. That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench. The ghost, or whatever he is. He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am
Nor
I
am
here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department? The hotline should be in the communications department.
I didn't let her finish talking. Oh well. Origin of the hiss.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No. No, just inside.
The source is internal then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily.
Yep. The oldest house.
You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door. Okay.
So essentially like any other government agency, they class themselves as essential, and don't want to be seen. Don't want to be found easily. Director Trench.
This Trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I'd need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah.
Yep. Objects of power.
Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this? Got it.
Pope's got one
Thanks.
big mouth. I don't mean loud. I mean, if you watch her mouth move, it's huge. Hadron resonance amplifiers.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Well, that's all of it.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Ooh. Health recovery. Health recovery per element pickup. 20%. Nice. Still the same there. Missions. Still got that one going. That's completed mission. That's just the number of missions. So, unknown caller. Enter the communications department to find the hotline. Unknown caller. Emily instructs Jesse to find the hotline, an object of power in the form of an old telephone. To understand the messages from the dead director trying to communicate with her, they hope he can provide insight into the Hiss invasion. Collectibles. Portrait of director Zachariah Trench. The only person you should fail is yourself. Yeah, nothing else in here. Haven't been up this side yet. Is that just back to this road? Ah. I have been here. I went up there and I went right around. Okay, so I have been everywhere up there. Cool. Now to explore down here. Don't really want to be going through there yet. That seems like where I would need to go. Nope. Not going that way. Or does that look like where I need to go? No.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
Why did I open this one when I can't see anything else added? I don't know. This could be a side area. Oh. So I've currently got health boost 20%, and that was just a health boost 16%. Travel costs. Week 83 report. Summary. Visited the following Nevada accommodations: Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Anzac, Aztec Court, not Anzac, that's completely different. Sleepy Bear Motel, Silver Spurs Ranch, El Gato Blanco Inn, A Plus Lodge. Expenditures: accommodation $831.29, meals $714.84. That's a lot spent on meals. Gasoline, also what we call petrol in Australia, $295.12. You spent more than about 2 times, a little bit over 2 times the amount on meals than you did on petrol. Minibar, $313.61. I do wonder if a motel called the Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state. But hey, I guess I'm not paid to think, right? And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. See you on the road. Agent L. Hines. The boys in research said performing rituals may help identify any places of power. Drinking those little whiskies is my ritual. Felt like I should have something I just picked up there. I don't know what any of those are. That looks a bit foreboding in there. We'll be going there though. Another new place I can go. This place is huge. All these bathrooms look exactly the same. Hiss barrier. Field research on Hiss entity, Hiss barrier. Confidential. Summary. The Hiss resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. Two methods have been discovered for allowing them. 1. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. 2. Destroy the Hiss entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require support for their size and density from other, non-connected sources of Hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of Hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the Hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the Hiss? To what degree is it watching and planning? Refer to file redacted for full report. Oh, I've got one more there. Correspondence. Unstable area notice. Please be aware, due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Reference chart. Green is stable. Yellow, low possibility of unanticipated building shifts. Orange, high likelihood of unanticipated building shifts. Red, frequent unanticipated building shifts. At least it's only yellow. Looks like the cafeteria. Which would be a good place to be able to use for workers here. Havana summary. Event summary. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. Redacted deaths were reported and the outgoing information has been managed.